Hello and welcome back to the 3M podcast. This is the third edition with me, James Hunt, Simon Nichols,
hello,
and Daniel Fletcher.
Hi, good to be here, James.
Today we were going to be discussing the projects and the work we've all been doing. However, I'm not sure how many of you have seen the videos, but we do discuss that in the videos which are on the grad website.
Especially also the social side of things as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got football to talk about, I'm sure.
Yeah, we will
NFC.
go into that later.
You know, the infamous TNDC, aka Thursday Night Drinking Club.
Works for Tuesday. But
It does work for Tuesday, but we don't go out.
they
on
didn't think
Tuesday,
about that. Really,
No,
did
they didn't. Simon, you've been, well, not doing very much, have you?
I do loads.
Socially.
How ambiguous. I do loads.
Socially?
We went out on Friday.
We did go out on
We
Friday.
did go on Friday.
The Christmas IP.
IP social.
Yeah.
It was fancy dress theme. You didn't turn up originally because even though it was at our house.
Yeah, but
We should explain that
I was with the
me and
football team
James
first.
live together. Not just me and James, but two girls.
Yeah,
as well.
just a one-room flat.
Single bed.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you say single. Oh, can I bring this up now? We say single
I don't know
bed,
if you
but he
can.
did actually.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
him,
you can bring it-
him
sorry?
and him and.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Him and Josh shared a
Shared
single bed
Well,
in
to be
our
fair-
spare room, James. Did you know that?
I heard, yeah.
I got in the bed. He just kept cracking up and just sat next to me.
I have heard he laughed himself to sleep.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was a saying.
I don't know.
I thought it was cried, but
cried,
just laughed.
cried or nothing.
Yeah.
Laughed himself to sleep. And then Simon said, "Yeah, he did wake up with his leg wrapped around me a couple of times."
No,
you did say
taken out of
that.
context. He moved his leg on top of mine sometimes. Then realised.
Freudian slip.
Yeah. Because on the same night, obviously, the reason you weren't there initially is because you had the 3MFC social. didn't
Yeah,
you?
I mean, I'm part of 3MFC, which is cleverly named 3M Football Club, which is basically the football team for 3M. So, I mean, I have to admit, the majority of them are grads. There's a couple of IPs. Hold on.
Okay.
But there are also quite a few. I mean, there's quite a few managers there. There's quite a few older staff as well. So it isn't just for the younger team, the younger players. It really is for anyone, and it's a really good laugh on the social side of things. As Dan was saying, I went for a curry and to one of the pubs with 3MFC boys, and then afterwards went into one of the nightclubs with the IPs. Joined them later.
With, I've got to say, a cracking jumper.
I did have
what
a
was your
cracking
theme? Your
jumper.
theme was
It was Christmas jumpers, and we had to make them as wacky as possible.
Because then you switch, you didn't wear your own.
And then we switched, yeah. I mean, I didn't really hold up my end of the deal. I was due to leave at 7, and at 6:45 I printed out a picture of Rudolph. But
Do you know, he didn't.
to
He
make
just
the
bought a
matters
normal
worse-
jumper for
to make
cheap,
it worse-
and he thought,
to
you
make
know
matters
what?
worse, I didn't have any safety pins, but I did have paper clips. So I just got a
Were you
paper clip
laughing,
at the top,
aren't you?
yeah, and sort of coiled it around. And yeah, one of
How
the
did that
grads.
go down?
Yeah, well, people laughed at it initially. One quote: "It's so bad, it's good." So
Who was that?
That was Matt Edmonds.
Oh,
and I thought that was quite. Well, it was a correct
Got away
assessment
with
of
it.
it.
That's
Yeah, I
good.
did.
You had two socials in one night, which was good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it does.
And it was a good night as well. And you were particularly drunk.
Oh, that's not true.
Oh, stories about you.
My gosh.
I won't go into.
What are those marks on your hand?
Can we go into that? I mean, I was climbing all over people's property.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't, seeing as we say we've lived together.
Yeah,
So people know that where
Well, they don't know where we live, do they?
Well, I don't think there's any detectives out there
Yeah,
listening
exactly.
to
That's why I
this.
don't know why you're worrying about it.
Stop it, Jim, we found them. We've all been to the cinema as well together. It's not as if we are strictly work colleagues. We are friends. We are all friends. We all get on really well, actually. Not just our four of us in our house, but all the rest of the IPs, including Simon. We all get on really well. I think we're probably quite lucky in that respect, that we all got people...
I'm a
that
bit worried how
you-
you sounded me out. Like, not many people get along with me.
No,
No. As in the four of us in our house,
Oh, I
including
see.
you.
And
Yeah.
including
No,
Simon,
not
yeah.
including... Yeah. Anyway, thanks for that.
Even Simon.
Broken my
that's
flow.
like, get back into it.
People can
Yeah.
tell you're not that easy to get along with. We had to
Deal
make it clear that
to-
even people like you know, have
Yeah.
friends at 3M.
Yeah.
It's mad.
For those engineers out there listening, thinking, how am I going to fit into this company?
That
Simon.
is crazy. That is
But-
discrimination.
As I was saying before, Simon rudely interrupted me.
Proceed.
Yeah? Have I got your permission?
So ignore him. What you were saying, James, is that, you know, we're friends outside of work
Exactly.
too, obviously. And it's quite lucky because normally it's just a place you're just stuck with people, you know, you don't get to
Yeah.
choose them. So I just reminded me of an office
But
quote
no, I
from
think
Tim,
that,
but-
yeah. But I think that pretty much
Quite.
epitomises 3M, really. I mean, you come here and you have work colleagues, and you don't necessarily have. I mean, there's the old interpretation that you have to work with them, but you don't necessarily have to like them.
Yeah.
Whereas here, they're really not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
As David Brent would say,
Yeah.
they
It's
really do come
encouraged.
hand in hand.
They encourage
Exactly.
you to get along. And I thought I'd just throw this out there that when I've been away a couple of times on
You
conferences
have.
and stuff. 3M, I don't know, I shouldn't really mention it, but 3M's like one of the only companies that actually pays for alcohol and expenses because they think it encourages team building.
And I think that's brilliant because
Yeah, and
it
that
just
just
shows
sums
that
them
they
up,
cater
'cause-
for all of it.
Yeah, and they deliberately try and encourage you to go out, go for meals, and if you've got something tonight.
I've got
haven't you,
the
with your team,
Christmas
actually?
dinner, the HR Christmas dinner, where we're going to Laser Quest first.
Oh,
2 games of Laser Quest,
Laser
then
Quest,
off to Prezzo for a nice Italian.
Prezzo is
I
good.
think
Yeah,
they'll
it's
get
good.
too competitive during Laser Quest.
Well, I imagine they will. I've spoken to my manager and he's already said he's super competitive. So,
Really?
yeah, but I don't know. I'm leaving the war paint at home, but I am taking my bayonet. So
Attach that on, yeah.
in that one.
Laser Quest until about 11. 'Cause I thought that's when you meant
There's
to
a
stop.
reason.
That's when you're
but,
supposed
yeah.
to stop going.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say. Then you move on to paintball. And for some reason, HR have moved backwards.
Yeah.
And we're going back round the cycle.
They've
but-
regressed. Sure.
Yeah,
So what else is there to
going back to
talk-
the main point, I'd say you have a social life within work rather than just outside work. And I
That's
think that's
true
just
as well.
that's important for work productivity, let alone bonds.
It's true actually, because
Thing.
I suppose we've mainly talked about socials outside of work, which is great, a social life
Yeah.
outside of work with people here. But also while you're at work, a lot of people do have a life as well.
Yeah.
It's like,
And I think it's strange because I thought all my best friends would be IPs, but some of my colleagues who are older than me, they're some of my best friends at the
Yeah.
organisation as well, which just shows that it doesn't matter the age differences between people, you always find things to get along
you're
with.
not really just seen as
Exactly.
a placement here for 1 year.
Exactly.
People do, try and make friends.
Is it okay for you this time to talk about
I've
TNDC?
now prepared my answers.
That's
So
pretty beautiful.
that's fine. Because actually, I just realised I'm the only one in this room that actually has been to a TNDC,
Yeah, I
aren't
haven't.
I?
Yeah.
I've been a few times. I think they're every 2 or 3 weeks, maybe.
They are, yeah. I think they're probably bi-monthly or so.
Bi-monthly. They're organised by one of the grads and one of the IPs here. But I've got to really stress it isn't actually just grads that IPs go
No.
at all. There's a
No.
lot of people in higher positions. And the thing I always thought, if you're going on, it's at the end of the day, it's still work social, so, I've got to be careful,
Yeah.
can't get too drunk, can't
Be on
joke
your best
around too
behaviour.
much. But you really don't have to be on your best behaviour at all. And that's demonstrated by, the managers going to the bars, encouraging people to do shots and stuff. So it really is just such a relaxed atmosphere to get to know each other. And it's great for team building and networking and making new friends.
The relaxed and informal culture we've discussed earlier sort of resonates through to the actual
Structure of the building.
structure of the building because it's all open plan.
Yeah.
Including, we've got like a coffee store downstairs, which is where various meetings are held. I mean, it's not like you have to have meetings in a room or at your desk. You can have it downstairs over a coffee, and that pretty much epitomises the whole point and the whole culture of 3M. Any other things people want to mention about regarding culture?
There was one more thing actually, James. Thanks for asking. M&F Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football.
And that's good. That's something we've all been involved in.
We have it. That might actually get someone involved in this.
Hello,
They haven't said a thing.
Yeah, come on.
I'm back
Worth
in
having him here.
M&F. It's a good name. Monday Night Football it stands for. Yeah, basically we play football on
He's got
Mondays.
nothing.
You never guess.
Should we take over?
What else do you want me to say?
You said
Well,
it's
good.
Monday Night Football and then we play football on Mondays.
There's nothing else to say. It's a good social experience. Get to meet people.
It is, yeah, and it's. I know I said earlier that 3MFC is for all ages, but M&F really is. I mean, it's for all ages and all abilities. You really don't have to be amazing. You really don't have to be even half decent. Anyone can go along
Yeah, because you get a lot of people
at
that
any age as well. Yeah, exactly. And
team.
it's just a good chance to exercise.
It's more of a social, isn't it? Than
Yeah. So last week or the week before, we had our Christmas curry and night out awards dinner.
I couldn't attend.
You couldn't attend because you had lacrosse. It was good. Yeah, it was good. Tyler swept the awards,
I've
which isn't
heard,
really a
yeah.
surprise. But so yeah, that's Monday Night Football. That's
And that's
Good opportunity.
sorted by a.
An IP.
Yeah. We should probably think about people outside of this room in terms of like there's
Yeah.
book clubs here that meet pretty regularly. I think maybe every month you read a book and then
Charity.
you meet up again.
They do charity days, don't they? Where if you raise a certain amount of money up to a point, they'll double it. So you can take a day off work and go do some charity.
So that's cool.
You
That
can
is pretty
set
good.
your own clubs, can you?
I think if you get the backing and you've got a good idea, then
Yeah,
you can.
probably.
I mean, I think that's how the clubs originated. They all came from people wanting
Yeah.
to set things up, and 3M accepted. I mean, to be honest, most of the clubs are full of 3M people, but A, there are some people outside of 3M that
Yeah.
attend those clubs, and
M&F
B,
springs
they're
to
not
mind,
necessarily set up with 3M having to sort of give it permission, because 3M FC, it's got the name, but by no means we don't train here at 3M. All it is the people involved.
Exactly, yeah.
But then again, the sports stuff's still really good, because I don't know of any other company that's got this much involvement in social and sport.
Yeah, I should mention
and
that
here
one,
at Bracknell.
Sorry, even though I know we haven't been involved in this one, but touch rugby as well.
Touch rugby,
it's really
yeah.
popular.
They're pretty good as well.
That's
They
right,
won.
and that's
Didn't they win or runners up?
They were runners up,
Shit.
something like that. I mean that's unisex, so anyone can.
Because
can
one of our
take part.
housemates was involved. Becky
Correct,
was involved
yeah.
now, wasn't she?
And yeah, she loved it, and she's sort of very. You wouldn't stereotypically associate her with touch rugby, and she says that openly herself. She said that she never thought she'd get into it, and she got into it, and she absolutely loved it.
And that was, she started so early, and she met loads of people through that, hasn't she? I think.
Yeah, and I think that's really good. And also here in Bracknell, the gym as well, which is really good, because not only for meeting new people and networking across the whole of the organisation, but also de-stress. I mean, get a bit of exercise during working hours, or if you've just finished work, you go downstairs before work, go downstairs and have a quick session. It doesn't really matter, but it's so convenient to have it there. If you know if you're going to be away in the evening, just get a session out of the way, which I think is really useful.
Also, the nickname Becky Biceps was coined in that gym.
Yeah.
So
She needs to go to the vet because those pythons looking sick. And on that note, Becky Biceps, we will say goodbye for another edition. From me, James Hunt, from my colleagues Simon Nichols.
Thanks for listening.
And Daniel
it's been
Fletcher.
an absolute pleasure, James.